Welcome everybody. Today I am discussing about block diagram algebra of control system. In this module, I cover what is the need of block diagram algebra for control system, what are the fundamental block unit of control system, how the blocks can be reduced with some rules. I explain all the rules step by step, and lastly I show some of the examples how the block diagrams are reduced with the help of different rules step by step, and how we calculate the transfer function. Okay, so firstly we must understand what is the need of block diagram algebra in control system. Firstly, if a system is simple and has limited parameter, then it is easy to analyze such using methods like transfer function. If the system is complicated and also have number of parameters, then it is very difficult to analyze. So we must calculate all the huge number of parameters in some specific manner and then calculate a single function just like transfer function. Clear? Secondly, to overcome the problem of block diagram representation method for large parameter, we use this algebra, and it is the simplest way to represent a complicated system and converted into a single transfer function. And here all the functional blocks are separated but interconnected in a proper sequence. So for this reason we must understand how the block diagram algebra is calculated. For this purpose we must understand how the block diagram algebra helps to reduce a complicated system into a simple transfer function. This is the basic fundamentals how we can reduce the complicated blocks. Before that, we must understand the basic fundamentals of a block diagram. So what is a block diagram? It is the pictorial representation of the cause and effect relationship between input and output of a physical system. That means this is a block. A block have input signal as ES and it has the output signal as CS. Clear? So what is output here? The value of the input is multiplied to the value of this block. So we get the output. Clear? So basically the output CS is equal to ES into the block parameter. Here block parameter is TS. So CS equal to ES into TS. Okay. Next, the fundamental parameter is known as summing point. So this is a summing point. Here we easily see that two or more signal are added or subtracted. If this is add symbol, so those signals are added. If this is minus signal, so it is known as it is subtracted. Clear? So in the summing point, two or more signal are added or subtracted together and we get a final output. Clear? So here the inputs are RS, YS and BS and output is CS. So RS is plus, YS is positive and BS is negative. So CS equal to RS plus YS minus BS. Next, take-up point. So input or output signal may be applied two or more points from the take-up point. Clear? So suppose this is RS input signal. So from here we can take to another signal as input. So this is RS and this is also RS. So this point is known as take-off point. So from take-off point we get three another signal is known as RS, RS and also RS. Next is known as path. Here we see that here is a forward path and here is a feedback path. Forward path is what? Now it is the direction of flow of signal from input to output. Clear? So from input to output there are three blocks. One is summing blocks, next forward transfer function block 1, then forward transfer function block 2, then output. And the feedback path is the direction of flow of signal from output to input. So here output is fed through a block known as HS, that is known as feedback transfer block, to the summing point. Clear? So this path is known as feedback path. So path is two type, one is forward path and another is reverse path or feedback path. Now we must know what are the reduction technique or what are the rules to reduce the block diagram algebra. So how they are reduced? So rule number 1, functional blocks are in cascade. So have a look of this first picture. Here we applied the input at a functional block known as G1s, then G2s, then G3s, and finally we get the value CS as output. So from this block we can easily reduce into one block such as G1s into G2s into G3s. So whether blocks are in cascade, all the blocks are multiplied together. Clear? So input RS is applied to a functional block with the value of G1s into G2s into G3s. Clear? And we get a output as CS. Here both the value of CS is equal. Next, rule number 2, if the functional blocks are in parallel. Previously we see that functional blocks are in cascade. Now the functional blocks are in parallel. So the functional blocks are G1s, G2s, G3s having the same input parameter as RS. So the output of G1s is RS into G1s. Output of G2s is RS into G2s. Output of G3s is equal to RS into G3s. Now we put all the value in a summing point and we get the output CS. Clear? So the output is what? Output CS is equal to RS G1s plus RS G2s plus RS G3s. So we take a common RS. Clear? So we get G1s plus G2s plus G3s as a combined functional block. So RS is as input and we get the functional block as G1s plus G2s plus G3s and we take as CS. Now rule 3, shifting of takeoff point from a position A before a block to a position B after a block. So first look this figure. Here is the takeoff point positioned as A. Shift this takeoff point from position A to position B. So look, from A position we get the output as RS and from position B we get the output as CS. So CS equal to RS into GS. Clear? So output should be 2. Clear? One is CS is equal to RS into GS, another is RS. Clear? So we just shift this takeoff point from A to B. Clear? So now the takeoff point, look at the figure below. Now the takeoff point is from where? Now the takeoff point is from B. To maintain this value RS, we have to introduce another block. The block value is what? The block value is 1 by GS, because here the function is RS into GS. So we must eliminate the function of GS. So we multiplied with this as 1 by GS. Clear? So we get the RS. So both the pictures are same. Now rules number 4. Shifting a takeoff point from a position B after a block to a position A before a block. So this is RS, this is the functional block, and from here we get two output, CS equal to RS into GS and another output is CS equal to RS into GS. Clear? So we have to shift this B position's takeoff point into A. Clear? But we must have these two equations. We must maintain these two output equations. So now we move the takeoff point from B to A. If we move the takeoff point from B to A, this signal from B is absolutely as previous, that CS equal to RS into GS. But to maintain this equation as previous, we must insert a functional block known as GS. Clear? So both the two figures are same. Now rule number 5 says shifting of summing point from a position before a block to a position after a block. So this summing point should be shifted after this block, and here two inputs are there. One input is RS, another input is XS, and we have one output as CS, and the CS equal to RS into GS plus minus XS into GS. So we should maintain this output. So now this summing block should be shifted after this functional block. Look here, this summing block is shifted after the functional block GS. Now the input is directly given to the functional block GS. So here the equation should be RS into GS. If we applied the XS directly to here, then CS should be RS into GS plus minus XS. But we must maintain XS into GS. So here we introduce a block termed as GS. So this signal should be XS into GS. Now the final CS equal to RS into GS plus minus XS into GS. So both to the diagrams are equal to each other. Now rules number 6. Shifting of summing point from a position after a block to a position before a block. Now summing position is where? Summing position is after the block. This summing position should be put before this block GS. Now look, here the input is RS into GS, and another input is here to the summing point, that is plus minus XS. So output CS is equal to RS into GS plus minus XS. So this output should be maintained as here. So now we shift this summing block in here. So RS is directly applied to this positive input. So RS is directly applied to the positive input. So here it is RS, and now another input of the summing point is XS. If we applied the XS directly here, so the output of summing point is what? Output of summing point is RS plus minus XS, and that should be multiplied later with GS, and function should be CS equal to RS plus minus XS into in bracket GS. So that GS should be eliminated. So we put a block here termed as 1 by GS. So function is here as XS into 1 by GS. So here the output of summing point should be RS plus minus XS by GS, and that should be totally multiplied with GS. Clear? And the final output should be CS is equal to RS into GS plus minus XS. So this diagram and these diagrams are both similar. Now rules number 7. What rules number 7 says? Shifting a takeoff point from a position A before summing point to a position B after summing point. So from the figure 1 we see that the takeoff point is taken from point A. Now this takeoff point must be shifted in takeoff point position B, that is before the summing point. What are the inputs of the summing point? One input is RS, another input is XS. And what are the outputs? Output is one is CS, that is RS plus XS. Another output is taken from point A, that is RS. So we should maintain these two, but shift this takeoff point at position A to position B. So now we shift the takeoff point at B. So this summer as same as previous. So here the input is RS, another input is XS. So the output is CS equal to RS plus XS. If we directly applied to the another summing point, so the output CS is applied to another summer, and the another input of the summer is XS with negative. So here we get only the RS, and XS is cancelled out each other. Now rules number 8, shifting a takeoff point from a position after summing point to a position before a summing point. So takeoff point is where? Takeoff point is at point B. So now this point is shifted at this position as A. So in the summing point there are two inputs, one is RS, another is plus minus XS. So output is CS equal to RS plus minus XS, and another output is taken from takeoff point B, that is also CS equal to RS plus minus XS. So we should maintain these two output also as previous. So we shift this takeoff point B from takeoff point position A. So if we shift the takeoff point, one summing point is same as previous, that is it has two input, one is RS, another one is XS, and we get the final output CS as RS plus minus XS. Clear? So we have another CS equal to RS plus minus XS. So we need another summing block, and we applied RS here also and XS here also. Clear? And then we get from the new summing point output as CS equal to RS plus minus XS. Clear? So the last rules is the unity feedback control rules. Here we have two diagrams. Look the first one. Here we applied RS to a summing point, and that output is given to GS, and from that we collect the output CS equal to GS by 1 plus GS. Here from takeoff point unity feedback with having no feedback elements directly fed to the summing point. So CS equal to GS by 1 plus GS HS. That means HS is equal to 1. So here the final output is CS equal to GS by 1 plus GS. Clear? Now we put a feedback path with a positive. Here we applied a feedback path as negative feedback path. Here we applied a feedback path with a positive value is equal to 1. We applied a positive feedback path. So the expression should be CS equal to GS by 1 minus GS. Clear? So here HS is equal to 1. So we read all the rules from rules number 1 to 9. Clear? So we must understand how the critical block diagrams are easily be solved with the help of these 9 rules. So have a look to this example. So from this block diagram we can easily see that there are 3 summing points, this one and this one. 3 forward transfer block, this G1, G2 and G3, and a reverse or feedback transfer block known as HS. Clear? And 3 takeoff point, one is before G2, another is after G2, and another is from output. Clear? So how we solve this one? First of all, shift the takeoff point after the block G2, this one. Shift the takeoff point after the block G2 to the position before the block G2. So we have to transfer this from here to here. Clear? And then eliminate the summing point after the block G2. Clear? Then eliminate this one, because here should be G2 plus G3. Clear? So if we redraw this picture, then it must be just like this: R, a summing point, then a block G1, then a summing point, then this G2 and G3 is added together, G2 plus G3, then this takeoff point from where a unity feedback signal is applied negatively to a summing point, and this takeoff point is shifted from here to here. Now shift the takeoff point before the block G2 plus G3 to the position after the block G2 plus G3. So we have to shift this takeoff point from this position to here. Now redraw the figure again. So R, summing point, G1, another summing point, and then a block G2 plus G3. Then the two takeoff points are merged together. One is fed as unity feedback and another to a block where G2 into H1 by G2 plus G3. Clear? So we have to suppress the value of this one. So here G2 into H1 by G2 plus G3. Clear? Now next, remove the unity feedback path. Clear? Remove this unity feedback path. We know that one. How? G2 plus G3 by 1 plus G2 plus G3. So we can redraw this figure again. So summing point G1, G2 plus G3 by 1 plus G2 plus G3. Clear? And the feedback function G2 into H1 by G2 plus G3. Clear? And again these two blocks are in cascade. So these two blocks are multiplied to each other. Clear? And then calculate the whole transfer function. We know that one. So have a look. So reducing the cascading block. So G1 into G2 plus G3 by 1 plus G2 plus G3. Clear? And we have the reverse or feedback block as G2 into H1 by G2 plus G3. Clear? So suppose this one is G and this one is called H. Clear? So what is the equation of that? So transfer function Ts should be G by 1 plus Gs into Hs. Clear or not? So we can put these values in G and H. Clear? And calculate, and then we get the transfer function, final transfer function. So final transfer function Cs equal to what? Cs equal to G1 into G2 plus G3 by 1 plus G2 plus G3 plus G1 into G2 into H. Clear? So I put total Ts value into a block and applied a signal as Rs, and we take a signal as Cs. Clear? Here is the another example. Clear? So look the first diagram. So input is applied to a block G1 and G3, and then two outputs are from applied to summing block. Then from there G2 and H1 is feedback from this. Clear? And from G2 we collect the output as Cs. Now this block we have to reduce and make the transfer function. So it is easy because this summing point is shifted in here and this in previous. Clear? So then this problem can be solved easily. Clear? So we mark this summing point as S1 and this summing point as S2. So S2 should be after S1. So we applied RS in where? RS in G1 block and G3 block. Then both two blocks output are fed to a summing point S1. Clear? Then the output of the summing point is fed to the summing point 2, from where we get output, and that is applied to a block named as G2. Clear? And then the output is again fed to a feedback block. From there a feedback signal is applied to a summing block S2. So this is the blocks are in parallel. Clear? And this is the closed loop block. So this can be G1 plus G3, and it can easily write as G2 by 1 plus G2 into H1. Now both the blocks are in cascade, so both two blocks are added together. So we can easily say that G1 into G2 plus G2 into G3 by 1 plus G1 into H1. Look this one. Clear? So this function is known as transfer function TS. Clear? So we can write TS equal to CS by RS equal to G1 into G2 plus G2 into G3 by 1 plus G2 into H1. So we see that in example number 1, in example number 2, we applied the different rules. So by applying the rules, we can easily solve the different or critical or complicated transfer functions. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.